What's up, YouTube? Welcome to Irving TV. And first, before we go any farther, I'd like to apologize for not giving y'all a video in a while. I've been busy with life, but I'm back. I'm here to provide y'all with more content. Now, before we get into the video, I'd like to show y'all something real quick. I'm gonna show y'all what I ate for breakfast today. Yes, I ate some Star Wars pancakes. It's the simple things that touch my heart. What I want to talk about today is, if some of y'all don't know, a while back, let me adjust the camera. A while back, a long time ago, I used to do music. I went by the name of Lil Ice. For the people that don't know, now the way that I used to spell Lil Ice is with two E's. Hold on, I'm getting ahead of myself. I was, and I don't like using the term rapper, but I was a rapper. So I used to rap a while back. And going back to the name now, I spelled Lil Ice with two E's. And at the time, when I first gave myself this name, I just wanted to be a little bit different. But then as it went on, as the years went by, I gave it an acronym. So it was originally Lil Ice, and it still was Lil Ice, but now it's like ICEE. So I'm cool with everything, everyone. So yeah, now it's an acronym. And I first started off music in Fairfield Middle School at the time. I started because, I just needed something to do and to get away from the bullying and all that stuff I was going through at the time. So I started doing that. Now, when I first started music, I was garbage. I was trash. I mean, I was trying to be every other rapper out there. I was trying to rap. I was talking about things that made no sense. Oh, I get the woman, I get the cars, get the clothes, and rapping about your average stuff. And really, first of all, I couldn't even really rap at the time. I was, like I said before, I was garbage. So, but as time progressed, my skills went from I'm looking on the floor trying to find my skills to okay, they're pretty good now. But me, as a musician and as an artist, I'm very critical of myself, so I'm always gonna say that I'm still garbage. But other people be like, oh, you're pretty good, that kind of stuff. But I still think I'm garbage at times. So I know I'm better than I was before years back. But yeah. So anyway, I want to show y'all something real quick. When I first started off, it was with the Mac Apple laptop. I was using this software called GarageBand, which came with the computer. And when I was in middle school, they let us borrow laptops for the year because we used to do a lot of work on the laptop. So I started making music on GarageBand. I made beats on there. It wasn't really quality beats, but it was something at the time. So then after that, when I had to give up the computer, I'm going to my room by the way. But when I had to give up the computer, I started using my sister's computer and started recording on there, using a little tiny microphone that was on the built-in microphone that came with the laptop. So I started using that. Well, I was using that on the Apple computer too. So fast forward a bit, you see this little area that's in my room? This is where my first studio was to a certain degree. I had just a regular microphone, and I used to just plug it up to the laptop, and I used to record. My music was still garbage at the time. And then, as time progressed and my sister moved out, this room right here, sorry for the mess, this room right here was at one point the studio. Yeah, this used to be the studio right here, and I used to spend a lot of time. I used to be in here for hours recording, And when I was in the ninth grade, I started using FL Studio, Fruity Loops, and I started making beats on that. I used to make beats, my own production. Then after a while, I kind of just that was like my least favorite part of the entire process, is making my own beats. Because it was just like, I wasn't into it as much as the writing and the recording and the performing. So the beat making wasn't me. So I started outsourcing per se. I started going to other producers and doing that. But I'm jumping ahead of myself. I can't tell you the number of projects I've made, but I'm still skipping ahead. So, after a while using laptop, microphones, and all that stuff, finally, my parents finally gave me a little bit of money to invest in a microphone, like a studio microphone. And once I bought that microphone, then I made I would like to call my first official project, which is, well, first of all, I know I'm all over the place, but these are some of my projects I made. Now, I have more than this, but there's somewhere in the house and I can't find it. So, this project right here is called Little Ice on the Track, the mixtape. And, well, before I go any further, you see this right here? It says Young Rappers Entertainment. And you see the logo. I used to try to have my own label and everything. Speaking of my own label, when I was trying to do the whole Young Rappers thing, I met a couple other people. One in particular, which to this day I'm still cool with. His name is D-Boy the Greatest, which I still talk to this day, and I know he watched my videos, so I want to give him a shout out real quick. And I also watch his videos as well on his YouTube channel. Matter of fact, I'm gonna put his YouTube channel on my description. But anyway, so that was my first project that I created when I got the microphone and the studio was officially up. So, and I think it had, let me see how many songs it had on here. Yeah, this is the track listing. And majority of this mixtape was produced by me. Oh, also, this was the websites I used to have too. Because I was big on promoting. The Twitter now, I changed the name to my current YouTube channel, Irving TV. So, but I'm going to put that in the description. My YouTube channel for my music page is actually still up and running. So anyway, I haven't did MySpace in a while. You can tell how long this been. And then during that time when I finished recording that project, I was in alternative/private school, which I was transitioning back into public school. So it was from 9th to 10th grade. So after that, then I started doing more recording while I was in school and everything. And I wanted to get my music out to the people I was going to school with. So what I did was I recorded this project, which is I'm Different, the prequel. So I recorded this. Let me see this track listed in here. And it was just a couple of songs that I recorded. It wasn't nothing, too fancy or anything like that. Like I said, I just wanted to put something out so people can, listen to some of my music before I start on my next project, which I wish I had the CD, but I can't find it. So I'm going to go ahead and find a picture real quick of my next project. So give me 1 second. All right, here we go. So then I made a sequel to this project, which is Little Ice on the Track. This was Little Ice on the Track Part 2, sophomore year. So, which was actually pretty genius, at least with the name in it anyway. So, because it's my next year, then I'm also sophomore year. So a lot of my projects was based off my life. So, yeah. So, that was that project. And then, a lot of my music, if y'all want, it's on the Daft website. So, I still keep a lot of my music on there. Alright, let's open this up. That was the track listing. And this project was special to me because this is the first project I treated like an album per se. I actually got some production from other producers. This is when I started going out for other producers because, like I said, I started becoming bored with the production aspect of it. So I started outsourcing per se. So, oh, hold on. Let me rewind real quick. So one of the songs that's on here is called You Already Know. Let me see, where is it? That was one of my first songs I ever got played on the radio. And that was one of my favorite songs. I actually produced it. I actually produced this song, and then I wrote the song at my brother Raheem's house, his mama's house. If you don't know who Raheem is, he is Obi-Wan's killer. Back to what I was saying. I'm going to keep mentioning that every single video. But I got that played on the radio. It was a local radio station, so it wasn't nothing too big, but it was big at the time for me. Another one of my big songs that I did was Shoot 'Em or Get Shot, which I made a music video for, but, don't let the title fool you. It is what it means, what it says. I did not say that correctly. It means exactly what it says, but I was actually speaking in the terms of, playing a video game as if you don't pull the trigger button, you're going to get hit. So anyway, going back. So yeah, I made this project, which produced also another one of my big songs called Now, which I made a music video for, and that's one of my favorite. Now it's still one of my favorite songs to this day, and I also love the music video too because it was pretty decent actually. I know I was all stiff in the video and everything, but I'm gonna give y'all a link to my other YouTube channel so y'all can go ahead and see my old videos. Okay, so after this project, I made a project called Legend, which I'm gonna pull up right now. Made a project called Legend, the EP, when I made a few songs, to put out after I put out sophomore year. And this is around the time I started working with a producer online called, his name was called Trey Freaky. He called himself Trey Chester now. I know he watches my videos too, so shout out to Trey Chester. But anyway, we started working real close together. Actually, he made this artwork. So I made about 6 songs on here, which a few of them he produced, some of them I produced, and then like 1 or 2 from other producers. And then after this project, spawned my next project called Lights on the Track Part 3, Junior Year, in which that same producer I was speaking of, Trey Chester, he actually hosted this mixtape. He hosted it, and it came out to be a pretty awesome project. And a little backstory about this project. This is when I started, when I was, like I said, in junior year, so the 11th grade. I took a tech class called Radio Broadcasting and Journalism, and I came across this person named Jared, which at the time he was going by the name Reason. Now it's, if you don't know him, Reason the Dawn, in which he was a rapper as well, and his skills was incredible. It was great, and then just listening to him, he inspired me to become. And I don't know if he knows this or not, but he actually inspired me to really push myself, because at the time, right before this project, the way that I used to do my music, like I said, I used to always talking about money, unnecessary stuff, and then I didn't have the skills present there to really prove myself. So when he came along, I really wanted to improve my skills. I started listening to different artists, because before that I was listening to, oh my goodness, I was listening to Soulja Boy. Oh gosh. Oh, anyway, it was that. I listened to a lot of Gucci, Jeezy, which I still like Jeezy to this day, but I was listening to, that kind of music. But then I started listening to Jay-Z, Kanye, Lupe, all them cats, and I like the lyricism. I like, wordplay, punchlines. I like all that kind of stuff. So I started pushing my skills up much more higher, and then me looking to Jared or Reason, I was pushing myself. I was like, I want to be better than him. I want to out rap him. That's what I wanted to do. So came this project, and then I was in a weird phase when I first created this project, because I was going from how I used to do music to a new transition. So this was like that in between transition, and then this project spawned another big song of mine. Hold on, let me pull this out real quick. Hope I don't scratch up anything. I don't know if you can really see this, but it spawned a song called Popular, in which I addressed the bully situation that was going on in middle school, and I want to address that because I just wanted people to know what I went through, and I also want people that was going through the same thing to know that you're not alone in this situation. So there's that. And at this time, I stopped doing young rappers entertainment because I wanted to expand more. I wanted something that fit me more. So I went from young rappers entertainment to space age society, which I felt like that fit more my personality and my message, and the work that I was trying to get out there. So anyway, so then after junior year, here spawned one of my favorite, to this day, my favorite project, and it is called Misunderstood. Now the story behind Misunderstood, the reason why I made this one, because remember when I was saying earlier about this project, I made the song called Popular, and I was, talking about, the bullying and stuff. Well, I made this project because I feel like there's, including me, there's a lot of people out there that people, just don't understand these folks. People go through a lot of isolation, depression, and a lot of this stuff. So I wanted to address that and put in the light of, just being misunderstood and just, just being that kid. So this is one of my favorite projects because, ooh, shadow in the way. And one of my favorite projects because at this time, everything was just, natural. I made this during the summer, so, you know, when I used to have the house to myself, I used to just get up early in the morning, get some hot wings and some British tea from the restaurant that was literally right up the street from me, and I used to just write and record. I literally used to just write and record until my peoples got home, and then, you know, next morning, everybody gone, I was just recording until they came back. And I made this project within the span of a week or two. So this is like literally one of my favorite projects to this day. I've made other projects since then, since this project, but this is one of my favorites to this day. And like I said, it was just incredible. So yeah, after, and I know I'm missing some stuff, but after that project came, I think this one should be obvious, my next project called Senior Year, which Senior Year I have mixed feelings about. Now, it is an incredible project. Yes, I'm not gonna, bash it, but it was a lot going on that was going on that year. And I cannot talk. There was a lot that was going on that year. I was trying to graduate high school because I was struggling, and then I had a lot of equipment failure, so it was hard to record. So it was just a lot that was going on. And then finally, I finally was able to get the project out, but it was rushed. So, but let me pull up the picture real quick. Give me 1 second. So as you can see, that was Lights on the Track Part 4, Senior Year. And this was when I started doing the acronym I spoke of earlier. And see, the thing I like about this project, especially with the artwork, I got the graduation cap, but I also have all my projects up until this point on here. I don't know if you can see it, but I have all my projects on here. So this is when I started finding a lot of YouTube producers and everything. It has 12 tracks on here. But see, with this project though, I felt like it was rushed. It wasn't. I felt like I wasn't creative enough on this project because, like I said, everything was rushed. There was a lot going on. So while it's a good project, it was just it's one of my least favorites. So there's that. And then after that, hold on, let me pull it up real quick. Spawn this project, which is actually the funny thing about this project is, you see this artwork cover? Remember when I was saying that the studio used to be in the corner? This is an old picture from when I was a teenager, and the name of this project is called The Original Concept. And the reason why I use this picture as the art cover because it's like, all right, we're returning to the reason why I started doing the music and everything like that. And then another reason why I named the project this because when I was working on Senior Year, I wanted the concept to be almost just as the same as Misunderstood. I wanted the sound to be almost not exactly the same, but I kind of wanted to bounce off this project, the Misunderstood project, but it didn't come out the way that I wanted it to. Well, it came out good, like I said before, but it didn't come out the way that I imagined it. So this is what this project was for. See, I have 11 songs on here. And when I made this project, I actually bought some new studio equipment because I wanted to sound much better. Because the other microphone that I had, it didn't sound up to par like like the industry standard. So I bought some new equipment. And honestly, this is my best sounding project. This is like one of my best projects. Although to this day, this is still my favorite project to this day. But anyway, this was the last project that I made. These two projects right here, my favorite three projects out of all that I made was Misunderstood, Senior Year, and I know I said Senior Year is my least favorite, but it's still in that era where that my focus is different, and I still talked about that my skills was better with Senior Year. I can't really put it. It's really hard to put it into words because when you're an artist, sometimes it's just hard to describe things with words. So the only way you can best describe it with is like I said, with the art itself. Original Concept was my last project that I made, and I think I made that in 2013. It's 2017 now. I haven't made any music since then because I think I just lost interest in making music. It was just I kind of just didn't want to make music no more. I can't describe exactly what happened, but um I just lost interest. But anyway, I just wanted to tell y'all, my background as far as when I was doing music and everything. I think I know I missed a couple of things, but I did do shows before. Um, I did a couple of shows. A couple of those I actually have on my other YouTube channel, which I said before. I'm gonna provide a link on my description. And one of the things I want to go back on is the subject matter that I talk about now. And if y'all want to listen to those projects, like I said before, I'm gonna put a link on there. Or if you just ask me, I'll just send the link or whatever. I'll decide what to do once I finish editing this. But see, when I first started music, like I said before, I was just talking about some dumb stuff like cars, Lamborghinis that I didn't even have. I didn't even have a driver's license. Talk about money and this, that, and the other. But as I grew, my subject matter became deeper and deeper. I started touching on the topics of what I went through, like what I really personally went through. To when I made Misunderstood, I was talking about not just me, but the other kids, other people that was just like me, that was going through depression, isolation, bullying, mental health issues and all that stuff. I started talking about that kind of stuff. And I also talk about video games and anime and my music, which a lot of people say I shouldn't do, but I did it anyway. Comes like, well, I'm going to talk about a subject matter that doesn't appease me, but then if I, talk about it in these songs, and then you can tell that it's fake, then you're going to call me out as being fake. So I'm going to be real with y'all. This is stuff that I know, this is stuff I'm going to put in my music. So, I just lost interest in doing music, but it was fun while I was doing it. It was real fun, making these projects, talk to other producers. But I was on TV once actually. Now it wasn't like a big TV station like that. It was like your local I forgot exactly what it's called, but it's like you pay the station money and they give you about an hour to be on there, whatever. And one of my cousins, he was putting out local talents and all that stuff. He asked me to be on there, so and I had the DVD. I did an interview and everything. That interview was pretty fun. Oh, I forgot to mention one thing. When I did this project, I also recorded a documentary too as well. It's called Lights on the Track, the mini DVD, which I wish I could find because it's pretty entertaining. It was bad quality, but it was still pretty entertaining. So, like I said, I was doing music since I was in middle school, the 7th grade. It was fun. I really never made any music off my any music. Sorry, I never made any money off my music. I could have, but I never did because, well, first of all, like I said, I was using other people's beats, so trying not to get sued, and because I just wanted to get my music out there. My biggest thing wasn't the money; it was the get my music out there. So yeah, that is the story of Lil Ice. That is my story as a musician. So anyway, I hope you liked this video. If you liked the video, go ahead and press the like button. If you disliked this video, hopefully you didn't dislike it. But if you did dislike it, press the dislike button because I always appreciate honesty. Go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Drop a comment below. And until then, promoting peace, gaming, and wings.